Attorney Adele, about the matter you brought up about the minor child victim witness. What would you like to put on the record?
Judge, I did have an opportunity to call Ms. Adele and speak to her about the issue of using the child victim's name during the trial. She said yes, it was her understanding that we would proceed as normal using her name during the trial. However, she also understood that the media was told that they could not, and that she had sent notifications to them and apparently had some conversations that they would be able to bleep that out or do something. And so she was comfortable with us using the full name during the trial.
Okay, perfect. And then you had asked, I know that Detective Hitchings may have a matter he needs to attend to, so I'll just explain that to the jurors, that if he steps out, he's attending to that matter. Is that acceptable to you, Detective Hitchens?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, thank you very much. All right, and so just so that you folks know, what we'll do is when the jurors come in, I'll give them the schedule that we'll be proceeding with the jury view. We'll then move forward with opening statements. We'll take a lunch recess this afternoon. Then they'll have an extended lunch. We know we'll proceed with that conference with Chad Cobb, and then we'll have one state's witness this afternoon, hopefully to be concluded by 3:30 or 4, and then I schedule the hearing with the child at 4 p.m. Attorney O'Brien, is there anything you would like to note for the record before we bring in the jurors?
Judge, in terms of your scheduling, is it my understanding now that it is, or maybe Mr. LaPrenzi can answer that better, that you're not going to call Chad Cobb this afternoon?
It sounds as if the state would prefer to conduct the other witness this afternoon. We will interact with Mr. Cobb from the ODRC with his lawyer.
Understood that.
But most likely his testimony, his direct, will be tomorrow afternoon.
I appreciate that, Your Honor.
Yep, thank you. What we can do perhaps at the end of the day is ask the state of Ohio who they intend to call in the morning so you can plan.
That's very appreciated.
Mm-hmm.
Judge, are we waiting for the jury to come in at this point?
Yes.
Okay. I have the view down minimized. I looked and see, I don't think there's anything on the screen that the jurors would have any problem seeing if we just left this up. I don't know how to make it a blank screen, but is this okay to leave this up? Okay.
Do you want the lights to go down a little, Judge?
Do you? No, I'm just kidding. I don't know. I don't know. That was a joke, Attorney O'Brien. Do you, we can see a lunch menu there for you. I think there's some other items that are pre-packaged just for your safety and for your information. All right? All right, and then thanks everyone else. You may be seated. Good morning. How's everybody doing this morning? Good? Okay. I'm glad you all made it back this morning. So I want to just talk to you about what's going on in the courtroom this morning, and then we'll go ahead and get started, okay? So I know that you came in, and we appreciate some of you were very prompt. We had you spaced out in the courtroom next door, and so what we'll continue to do is our jurors here will come through that door, and then the jurors in the back will come back there, okay? What you're going to see is, at some point when we get to it, you're going to see a witness right here. And what we did was we made sure that every juror in this room, even though physically spaced, is able to see and hear this witness. If by some chance that's an issue, you raise your hand and I'll address it for you, okay? All right. Remember, all my rules and orders are in place. We know what those are. We talked about them on Friday, right? You can't talk about this case with anybody. Nobody in the building's allowed to come up with you. Nobody's allowed to approach you. Nobody's trying to talk to you about this case. If it happens, you tell my staff. I assure you I'll take care of it. Make sense? Okay. So, you know and you saw on Friday, our staff is very conscientious. I also want to introduce you to Desiree, who's here. Just say hi. So what we do, after every witness is done, or whether somebody touches an area that someone else is going to interact, even when you folks take a lunch break, we're going to disinfect and wipe down where you are. Okay? All right. Remember, you can't have your cell phones on in court, so make sure they're turned off. Another administrative matter, you remember Detective Hitchens. He was with us Friday. He may have to deal with an administrative issue, so if he steps out, we just wanted you to know that in advance. Okay? Let me give you the schedule for today. But before we do that, you remember our court reporter, Christy. We told you that there are cameras in here. You will not be filmed, and you will never be referred to by your name. Make sense? Okay. All right. So here's what's going to happen today. It's about 10:45. The first thing that we're going to address this morning is the jury view. And you're going to see it from a video perspective. The state of Ohio is going to present it to you. I'll instruct you on that in a minute. You are then going to see opening statements by counsel. As I told you on Friday, remember, opening statements are not evidence, but they're basically a preview of the claims that the parties believe that they will present to you. This afternoon, after we take a lunch recess, we will have one witness that you will see. That witness will be here in person. And then most likely you folks will be excused by about 4 o'clock, okay? And then tomorrow I'll be able to give you that schedule towards the end of the day and just to keep you updated as to how we move forward, okay? This morning I did have you report just a little bit later than anticipated. We all had some issues last night. I'm sure you all did too. The power went out. Hopefully by the time all of us get home, for those of you that lost it, it will be working. But I appreciate your patience this morning. If you ever have any questions, you can talk to my staff. Although remember, they're not allowed to talk to you about the case. So most likely what they'll say to you is, I need to talk to you, the judge, about your question, and then they'll get back to you. And then you met Bill Wellemeyer, you've met Susan, you've met Kelly, and I think Friday you met my superintendent, Tamra. And so she's helping me with some of my other cases this morning, but you'll see her in and out, okay? All right. So with that, you know Attorney Loprenzi, Attorney Easter, Detective Hitchens, Attorney Cottrell, Attorney O'Brien, his client, Erica Stefanko. We will get started now with the jury view. I will instruct the jurors at this time, but Attorney Easter, Attorney Loprenzi, are you ready to proceed?
Yes, you are.
All right, thank you very much. Now, ladies and gentlemen, you will be viewing the locations involved in this case. What you observe during this jury view is not evidence. Conditions may have changed since the time of the events in this case. The evidence of the physical appearance of the scene must come to you from the witness stand. The purpose of this jury view for you is to help you understand the evidence as it is presented in the courtroom as we move forward during trial. Ms. Stefanko is present with us. We are presenting the jury view to you in a video fashion. And with that, it is designed to help you better understand the facts and circumstances surrounding the state of Ohio's evidence in this case. The scene described in this guide encompasses one, outside area of Mitco Trucking at 3312 Barber Road. 2, Domino's Pizza at 4057 South Main Street. 3, the outside area in front of and behind 647 West Turkey Foot Lake Road. 4, the outside area leading up to and behind the detached garage at 731 Rex Lake Road. 5, the entire area of a cornfield off of Poor Road. And 6, the outside area in front of and behind 15007 Mount Eaton Road. Now, Attorney Loprenzi has my permission to narrate the video that you see. You will also see, as he utilizes technology, an arrow, and as he's moving that around now, to indicate certain areas as he addresses the jury view. I do anticipate that this process will take approximately 25 to 30 minutes. Attorney LaPrenzi, you may proceed. It is 9:50.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is Mitco Trucking at 3312 Barber Road, and we would ask that you pay attention to the front parking lot area as I'm indicating. Ladies and gentlemen, this is Domino's Pizza at 4057 South Main Street. First, we would ask you to notice and observe the parking lot. And from 4057 South Main Street to 647 West Turkeyfoot Lake Road in this area over here. Number 3 is crime scene at 647 West Turkeyfoot Lake Road. We'll ask you to take note of the side parking lot and the back of the parking lot. And to take note of the side door and the area in front of it. We'd also ask you to take note of the trees around the area. Next, we'll be asking you to observe the path from 647 West Turkeyfoot Lake Road going west to 731 Lake Road. Next is 731 Rex Lake Road. And we would ask you to note the location of the detached garage. Next, we'd ask you to take note of the area immediately behind the detached garage and the wooded area behind the garage. Number 5 is the Cornfield off of Poor, P-O-R-R Road. We'll ask you to take note of the far right corner of the cornfield. And to take note of this house by the cornfield. Next, we'll be asking you to take note of an access road where a white truck is located. And we'll ask you to note the distance from the white truck to the far right corner. number 6, 15007 Mount Eaton Road. We're asking you to note the backyard area and the fire pit. The fire pit. Your Honor, at this time, we would ask that the court indicate to the court we mark this as State's Exhibit Number 1, and we'd be asking later on to admit that as an evidence. Thank
Any
you, Judge.
objection?
No, Your Honor.
It'll be marked and identified. All right, with that, ladies and gentlemen, and forgive me, I misspoke. It was actually 10:50 when we began. It is now 11:05 a.m. Ladies and gentlemen, we will proceed with opening statements. Just as a reminder, they are not evidence, but a preview of the claims of each party and are designed to help you to follow the evidence that is presented. As I indicated to you on Friday, the state of Ohio does have the burden to prove each element in this case. In custom and tradition, they do proceed first.